Okay, Rosie, so I have obviously been so excited about this video.
Too.
And I remember whenever I first was thinking of her pursuit and just all of the things that I wanted to do, all the people I wanted to reach, my initial thought was, what the world, like women, entrepreneurs. Like I love business, I love ministry, I love mental health. And of course, whenever I'm thinking of like a little bit of ministry and a lot of business, I was thinking of you.
Aww.
And so I've loved watching your journey literally from my freshman year of college until now. And so I have been so excited, and from the moment we've honestly like got coffee and talked, I was like, this woman is incredible.
Aww.
Like #1 fan, and I know so many people are genuinely like inspired by what you do, like for real. So I just want you to like share your story from, of course, when I knew you freshman year in the dorm until like where you're at now, those transitions for you.
So I'm from New York City, born and raised, and I came to Campbellsville because I got a full scholarship for wrestling. So, well, half academic, half athletic. And I'd never been to Kentucky, never been to the South, like had no idea what I was getting into. And I was like, well, it's for free. It's college for free. No one in my family has ever graduated from college or even done that. And I'm like, I don't want to be in debt. You know, I had like a sense of peace about it. So I came and I was in complete culture shock. But when I came to Campbellsville, I was like in shock. There was like I didn't have a driver's license or a car. There was like no buses or trains. And then one of the things was there was no one to do eyebrows. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I can't wait till like Christmas and summer when I'm home. So I started doing my own eyebrows in my dorm room, and I didn't think anything of it, but then girls on the wrestling team were like, who does your brows? And I'm like, oh, I do it. Like, I can do yours, no big deal.
It doesn't hurt.
It does.
Brows by Rosie.
People on campus, and so like my entire freshman year, I did people's brows for free. Like, cause I just like doing it. Literally.
What, did you say your freshman year?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, so 2013.
Yeah.
So fall of 2013 until spring of 14, I literally did at least 10 people's brows a week for free.
What?
Because it was like
awesome.
my friends, my family. Well, not family, but like they were like family to me. So I just really liked it. And then my sophomore year, I was like, I can't be doing this for free no more. I'm like,
you're really out here grinding.
Yeah. So I just started charging $5. And I would do it in my dorm room. And like word started spreading, but like not really. And I just did that my sophomore year, my junior year, and then my senior year, I think I made my Instagram for the first time, and it was Brows by Rosie, and I started just posting before and afters. I never thought anything of it. I worked on Main Street. I worked at Hardin and Brothers. I loved it. And then I also dog sat.
One thing that you had shared with me when we were at coffee was whenever, do you want to say it, because I feel like I'm going to mess it up, but you were talking about, you know, brows is this thing that seems so simple, but what you've taken is like a simple skill and created like almost like a Campbellsville empire on it for women. But do you want to share like what you felt like God had spoken to you about the placement of brows and what it means whenever God calls you somewhere?
So I really like mean this, and for any aspect of life, like any career field, whatever it is, if God called you to it, there's like room for you. So I just feel like it doesn't matter if there's 1,000 people doing hair or 1,000 people doing photography or videos or blogging. You know, if you have that passion in your heart, just do it, because every single individual person speaks to a different clientele or audience. You're going to relate to different people. You're going to get different people that come to you, and I just feel like there's room for you, even if like there's never like oversaturation of the market. You know, like there is room for you, and you have a specific audience that you're speaking to. So just because 1,000 people are doing it, don't ever feel discouraged that you can't do that. And that goes on with like my training that I'm doing now for brow threading and microblading. People always ask me like, are you nervous to train people like that are in this town? Like, aren't they going to take clients from you? And I say no, because they're going to speak to a different clientele. And maybe they will take a couple clients that relate to them better than me, but then that's good for them. You know, you should go to the person that you feel a connection with. So I'm like, I tell everybody that because it's so easy to be discouraged thinking, well, there's already other people doing it, especially in a small town. But in a small town, I feel like community and like how much everyone like supports local, like it's even almost easier and better, and you have more support in a small town than if you were in a big city.
Yeah, and so is that kind of part of the Future is Female slogan? Like, where did that come from? How was that initiated initially?
So I never thought it was gonna be so much controversy, but like I guess in small town Kentucky, like a lot of people have bad things to say about it.
Yeah.
And when I say I'm a feminist, I don't mean like women is better than men.
Right.
We are equal. I believe like, you know, I love my husband to death, you know, but he knows like when I say the future is female, I just mean we're at a point in like the world and in life where you're seeing more women be an entrepreneur, seeing more women own businesses, where that wasn't such a big thing before.
Right.
So I just want like young girls to be able to say like, wow, I can do this. Like I grew up and nothing, like I love my mom, I love my family to death, but they grew up telling me marry a rich husband. Like you need to marry someone rich so they can take care of you. And my husband does a great job taking care of me too, but I think like you can do that too on your own, and you can like have those dreams, and you don't just have to work for someone else's dreams. So when I have like the future is female, it's just so people, especially younger, but of all ages, to be like, you know what, like I can go for that, or I can go for my dreams, you know, and not let gender stop you, or think like it's easier if you're a man or something. So
I definitely feel that as well. Being, especially I think women that do have stronger personalities and stronger characteristics to leadership, especially entrepreneurship, there can be such a struggle and tension between like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Do I need to have like a man leading me in this area? And so there's a lot of struggles for women in general, and especially women that know that they stand up for feminism, but also fear that judgment that other people like to cast on, like, oh, she's feminist, she thinks she's better, but really it's like, no, allow us and support us in the leadership and roles we're initiating. And
to go off what you said, like I get so much, because I'm obviously a Christian, and like I get so much backlash of people like, oh, like, you know, you shouldn't be a feminist, but I'm like, but the way the word means to me, I'm not like a women above men. Like I think like God created us, and we have like specific roles and uniqueness and qualities that help us as women and men, but you can do things as a woman too. And I also think like in my marriage, like Parker and I like are complete opposites, but we balance each other so well. And he supports me so well, and so, but I also support him. So it should be equal. You know, like there's areas that Parker is way better at than me, and he has to lead me in those areas and like guide me in those areas, and there's areas where I know more than him, and so in that aspect he comes to me for advice. So it doesn't just have to be one person that you're like depending on for all the decisions. So like it's where we have our strengths, then the other person can come to them. So like we're, you know, so I just don't think like the man should control every decision or the woman should control every decision. Wherever you have your strengths, then that other spouse or partner or even friend, family member can go to you for those things. So that's how I see it.
There's one area that we had talked about just for a second, but it was just like, so it spoke volumes to me, because I am studying like marriage and family therapy, and I'm a huge mental health advocate. And one thing we had talked about was your take on mental health and how therapy has really been very helpful to you, because I can imagine like coming into this community, having a lot happen so quickly could have been a lot for you. So can you just talk about mental health and like your stance on that and kind of your journey with some of that stuff?
So and a same thing like with my family growing up, it's like the only people that go to a counselor are crazy, or like you gotta, you know, that's like for people that are crazy or psycho. And I never thought that. So in January I started going to counseling, and I go to Seneca Rodriguez. She's off of Main Street. She's amazing. Like, it has been so, I think I'm like seeing who I truly am and evolving the most this year through therapy and like processing stuff, things that you don't even know were an issue, or the way you see things because of things that happened in your past. Just like, you know, talking to someone and being able to process those things. I feel like this year I've transformed the most. And it's been like, I've been speaking about it like openly too, and like everyone struggles. And I think my friend Jessie, she posted this on her Instagram yesterday, and she said, you're not truly healed of something, like God hasn't truly healed you of something unless you have been able to speak about it and help others through it. So like when I first started going to therapy, I didn't tell anybody about it because I was struggling, and I was like, you know, I wasn't in the process to like help people. And now I feel like I'm in a lot better place, and like I want people to know, like, you can go to therapy and it's so good, it's so healthy, it's gonna help you. And everyone has things that they go through, and no one's perfect. And I don't want people that like see this video or follow me to think I'm perfect, because I'm not. Like, I struggle in so many ways. But on social media, everyone just posts their best selves. That's what, like on Instagram, you're not going to post the worst picture out of all the selfies you took. You're going to post the best one. So you see that and you compare yourself. And I just feel like therapy has like been amazing, and it's helped me so much. I wish I would have went a lot sooner. It's an investment though, because it is expensive. Sometimes your insurance will cover it, or you know, whatever, but save it. And self-care, you need to go. Mental health is so important. You can't really like shine, and like you can, but you can be struggling and it be hard. But I don't feel like you can be your true self unless you've worked through your past and like your struggles and process them. You know, I think, I'm all about it.
I'm so passionate about it as well, and I agree like 100%. And so I think even for like people watching this, they're gonna think, you know, because people do compare. And I told you there were so many times I was like, she's on my dream trip right now, like I want to be there. But I think people hearing that from you, someone that a lot of people probably look up to, and especially women, young women, and saying like, okay, so there's a lot more that she has been going through and processing and learning about herself as well, and it's okay for me to go to therapy. So I love that you're open about that. It's been such a good conversation, but I have one last final thought that I want you to share with everyone, and that is just to women in general, and specifically entrepreneurs, like big dream thinkers. What would be a piece of advice that you would want to share with them?
I already said like if God called you to it, there's room for you. So like don't be scared to like go for something because you feel like it's oversaturated. And then my biggest lesson that I learned, and that I try to tell people all the time, is like, don't wait for it to be perfect. Stop trying to chase that like perfection. Don't think like, okay, I'll start vlogging or interviewing people, whatever, when I have the perfect camera and I have the perfect setup, and you know, when I graduate, when I do this. You're never gonna have the perfect circumstances to start, and you're gonna be scared. Like doing something like for the first time and starting something, you're gonna be scared, but you have to do it anyway, because it's better to start than to wait until the perfect circumstance to start. So like if I didn't start in my dorm, I literally started in my dorm room waxing people's eyebrows with their pillow laid on my bed, and their head was like so not professional. But you know, you just start where you're at. You know, don't feel like it has to be perfect. If you're especially in the beauty industry, don't feel like you have to wait till you have the perfect studio. Like this is like my 5th location. Like I was in my dorm room, then I was at the green room, then I went to Sarah J's studio, then I moved into a room at Sarah J's studio, then I worked at Green River Tattoo Company to do my microblading, then I got this. So don't think like you have to wait till you get to that point to start. And then also don't compare your like someone's chapter 5 or whatever to like your chapter 1, like where you're starting, because so much has happened for them to get to that point.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Well, you definitely spoke to my soul with that for sure.
Thanks.
But really, I appreciate you being here and just everything you've done for this community and in general. Like, you're such a gem. So like, thank you so much for being a part of this and for genuinely just being who you are. So
thank you so much.